Hi, welcome to Digging to China. I'm Dong Shong. Thank you for tuning in. Your support means the world and plays a crucial role in the YouTube algorithm. Liking, sharing, and subscribing not only show your support, but also help YouTube recommend my videos to a broader audience. Thank you very much. Let's revisit the topic of China's lying flat phenomenon today and delves into the potential outcomes of this trend. The term lying flat originated from an article titled "Lying Flat is Justice." The essence of the article suggests that contemporary youth are adopting a more laid-back approach to life with diminishing aspirations. Consequently, they opt out of actively seeking employment and instead choose to spend their time lying flat at home, relaxing and indulging in gaming. This lifestyle of eschewing work and embracing domestic leisure has emerged as a defining characteristic of the lying flat generation. Choosing to lie flat is a personal decision that may be understandable, but when it becomes a widespread trend among young people in society, it starts to have significant societal implications. Consequently, governments and relevant authorities begin to take notice. For example, Chinese official media outlets such as People's Daily and Xinhua News Agency have started to publish articles criticizing the lying flat mentality among the youth. This phenomenon raises an interesting question. Why are authorities concerned about young people opting for a laid-back lifestyle? Understanding the root causes behind this trend can provide insight into its true nature. The proponents of the lying flat movement, or as it's sometimes called, the lying flatism, are skilled at rationalizing their actions by drawing parallels with ancient Greek philosopher Diogenes. They argue that adopting a reclined stance akin to Diogenes allows for a deeper contemplation of life and the universe. However, this viewpoint is not endorsed by mainland Chinese official media. Xinhua News Agency, for instance, rebukes the concept of lying flat as shameful and questioned its alignment with justice. Criticism towards the younger generation's choice to eschew ambition or work is widespread. One mainland Chinese television station went so far as to advise young people that while accepting one's fate may be acceptable, adopting a lying flat attitude is not. The stern criticism from official media towards the lying phenomenon reflects a deeper concern within Chinese society, touching upon its very survival. This trend poses a direct threat to both economic progress and social stability, prompting a guided approach from Chinese authorities. Recent official statistics underscore that the lying flat is no longer an isolated choice among young individuals, but a rapidly spreading social phenomenon. For example, data from China's Ministry of Education reveals a significant increase in the number of college graduates, rising to 11.6 million in 2023 from just 6.8 million in 2012. Despite its surge in graduates, job opportunities are on the decline. Statistics indicate a downward trend in employment scale since 2017, with employment growth rate sharply decreasing since 2014. As of 2018, this trend has transitioned from positive to negative. Let's examine the proportion of rural migrant workers seeking employment outside their hometowns, which is also showing a downward trend overall. The year 2020 witnessed a significant decline, primarily due to the pandemic's impact. Simultaneously, the relocation or closure of numerous small and medium-sized private enterprises in urban areas has reduced job opportunities. Consequently, it's unlikely that this figure will rebound significantly in the future. These statistics illustrate a rapid increase in the number of individuals choosing not to pursue employment over the past 2 to 3 years. Furthermore, rural migrant workers are opting to remain in their hometowns rather than seeking work in urban areas, engaging in small-scale business at most. Essentially, both urban and rural youth are increasingly embracing the lying flat lifestyle to varying extents. Although some laborers choose to adopt a lying flat lifestyle, there is another group opting for active participation in competition. civil servants. Chinese official media reports that last year's annual civil service examination attracted over 3 million candidates, setting a record. This surge in application post-pandemic signifies a notable shift. It appears the pandemic has motivated more individuals to pursue civil service careers while fostering a more passive attitude among laborers. Essentially, the civil service examination resembles ancient imperial exams in selecting bureaucrats for the administrative system. Passing the exam offers the chance to become resource managers and decision makers. Consequently, Chinese youth are increasingly recognizing the essence of the situation. They aspire to be resource allocators rather than producers. Allocating resources means benefiting from others' labor, while producing resources means having one's labor benefits shared by others. The advantage is evident. Currently, those who produce resources are embracing a lying flat lifestyle, causing concern among those responsible for distribution as they have nothing to distribute. Hence, distributors criticize the lying flat trend, urging its adopters to rise and continue producing resources for them. We can analyze this phenomenon from a perspective of political economy. The young people embracing the lying flat lifestyle are typically not unemployed but rather underemployed, opting for flexible jobs due to limited opportunities. Regardless of economic conditions, capitalism tends to maintain a pool of labor that cannot find sufficient work. While they may seem redundant, they play a crucial role in society as wage regulators, influencing capital accumulation. In times of economic prosperity, job opportunities increase, leading to the integration of the reserve labor force into the workforce. This influx of laborers serves to suppress wages by boosting supply. Conversely, during economic downturn, when job opportunities decline, these individuals are compelled to adopt a frugal lifestyle, becoming part of the lying flat demographic. Thus, the key to capital accumulation lies in two forms of surplus: a surplus of laborers and a surplus of labor products. This strategy sustains the expansion of production while continuously driving down wages. By perpetuating this style of expanding scale and diminishing wages, rapid capital accumulation ensues. At the heart of the capitalism's operation lies the process of having surplus individuals produce surplus goods and printing excess money to exchange these products. This system relies on cheap and abundant labor and a currency to sustain the privileged elite at the top of the societal hierarchy. If all the reserve labor force we discussed earlier were to adopt a lying flat lifestyle and abstain from labor participation, they would essentially become indistinguishable from the diseased in terms of capital accumulation. This trend already poses a significant threat to the entire system of capital accumulation. It's understandable that relevant authorities are anxious upon observing this situation. Therefore, to prevent the disruption of this established system, the ruling class will likely employ various measures to encourage those embracing the lying flat lifestyle to return to work. The current criticisms represent just the beginning. I anticipate a series of actions in the future aimed at compelling those who have opted to lie down to rise again and resume their role in producing resources. Certainly, some may argue that by steadfastly maintaining the lying flat lifestyle without wavering for 50 years, they could challenge the control of the ruling class. This notion has been excessively glorified by mainland Chinese media, portraying it as a contemporary youth's form of non-violent resistance or a rejection of authority and control, a kind of empowerment. However, I must say this viewpoint is too naive and simplistic. Ultimately, individuals are subject to being harvested by some force, be it capital or the cyclical laws of history. While enduring being harvested by capital may be manageable, facing the repercussions of historical cycles may prove unbearable. The concept of historical cycles can be understood quite simply. It's often said that contemporary China has entered an era marked by internal circulation and internal entanglement. However, viewed through a historical lens, these phenomena phenomenon occur whenever the empire enters a period of decline. Historically, China's current political system resembles the grand empire system of the Yuan, Ming, and the Qing dynasties, with additional communist elements. Following the establishment of each dynasty, there would be a phase of prosperity marked by rapid population growth. Yet, after reaching its peak, each dynasty would inevitably decline. Due to the closed nature of the internal empire system, its capacity for self-renewal and correction is limited. After a prolonged period of dynasty stability, any encounter with natural disasters or external adversities easily leads to a shortage of social resources. Consequently, societal tensions rise as people compete for these resources, often resulting in the emergence of numerous violent groups in both urban and rural areas who sustain themselves through coercive means. When the empire undergoes a severe phase of internal entanglement and internal circulation, society's lower strata often divide into two groups: those who extract blood as payment and those who become victims of this extraction. So, who is eligible to extract blood payments? Usually, it's the audacious individuals, the daredevils unafraid of confrontation and mortality. And who ends up being the victim of this extraction? It's the compliant ones who opt to lie flat. Lying flat is insignificant in the presence of violence. Historically, those who lie flat essentially volunteer as cannon fodder. Let's explore the population trends during the Yuan, Ming, and the Qing dynasty in China. Based on the history of Chinese population development by Chinese historian Ge Jianxiong, during the transition from the Yuan to the Ming dynasty, the population reached a low point of around 60 million, declining by 25 million from its peak, a decrease of 29%. The most severe population loss occurred between 1351, when uprisings led by figures like Han Shantong and Liu Futong erupted, and 1368, when Zhu Yuanzhang solidified his victory and established the Ming dynasty. During the late Ming dynasty, from the first year of Chongzhen to the 12th year of Shunzhi, spanning 27 years, China's population plummeted by approximately 80 million, declining from around 200 million to 120 million, a staggering 40% decrease. Moving on to the decline of the Qing dynasty. This period saw the outbreaks of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom and the Nian Rebellion. Before these uprisings, China's population stood at 430 million. However, in the year following the end of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom War, which was 1865, China's population had dwindled to a mere 230 million, a stark and alarming decline. To summarize, during dynastic changes in China, there is often a substantial decrease in population, typically ranging from 30% to 50%, and this decline usually happens rapidly within 20 years. Now the question arises, among those who disappeared, how many were part of China's ancient lying flat population? This answer remains uncertain, but it is clear that those who survived dynastic transitions were certainly not part of the lying flat demographic. In the grand scheme of history, choosing to lie flat is akin to opting for a slow demise. And when these individuals encounter those who reap lives, they can't even fulfill their desire for such a gradual end. Consider an example. One of the most notorious figures in Chinese history was Zhang Xianzhong. When Zhang led his troops into Sichuan, they left behind a trail of carnage. Upon seizing Chengdu, fearing reprisal and potential rebellion, Zhang made the cruel decision to massacre the unarmed civilians. Missionaries from the late Ming dynasty documented this in the introduction of Catholicism in Sichuan. Despite the local surrender, they couldn't evade death. Kneeling and begging for mercy proved futile. Ultimately, these innocent civilians met their end. Those who reap lives calculate only survival, gain, and loss, devoid of compassion, sympathy, or morality. Throughout the Chinese history, similar scenarios have recurred time and time again. In these situations, opting to lie flat serves only to facilitate the harvest for those who wield death. Conversely, it underscores that only those unwilling to lie flat, those who dare to risk their lives and stake their existence, have any chance of surviving the historical game. Hence, the final avenues come down to several options. Firstly, to leave outright, departing from China. Secondly, to pursue a civil service position, becoming part of the rent-seeking elite. Thirdly, to resort to violence, becoming one of those who extract blood as payment. The last choice is to do nothing, lying flat and awaiting demise. In fact, considering my understanding of the Chinese people, I believe the most likely scenario is pretending to lie flat. What does pretending to lie flat mean? It means that when he sees everyone around him about to lie flat, he lies flat along with them. Why? Because at that moment he is most afraid of standing out and becoming a target. If he doesn't lie flat, he becomes the target to be shot. So at that moment he lies flat with everyone else. But during the process of lying flat, he quietly conceals a knife behind his back. Then after everyone lies flat, he takes out the knife and stabs others with it. Afterwards, he puts away the knife, slowly get up, and he'll find himself the sole survivor. So, pretending to lie flat, then betraying others, and ultimately surviving by chance, I believe this is the most likely choice for Chinese people. This sad reality reflects the pragmatic approach many Chinese people feel compelled to adopt in order to navigate challenging circumstances and survive in a competitive environment. Thank you for watching. Please like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.